Hey everybody, welcome back to an episode of the 3 Count Network Edition. I'm the greatest second place champion, United States of War Machine, MJ.
And I'm the one and only Rodimus Prime.
And we're here to talk about, of course, the network stuff. Not only that, but NXT's maiden voyage on the USA Network, or at least the first hour.
Yeah.
So, you know how this format goes. We go from worst show to best show, and we pick our match of the week.
Yes. So, you know what? Let's just go ahead and get the obvious out there, the elephant in the room, the weakest of the three, NXT UK, in which we just watched as of this recording. What did you think about the show?
Yeah, pretty uneventful match. Uneventful show compared to NXT, which we watched before UK.
Yep.
And yeah, we'll get to more on NXT, but yeah, just a largely uneventful show.
Yeah, I mean, nothing overly spectacular about this week's show. It was kind of, But anyway, we're just gonna go ahead and get on with the review. We start off with the Kiwi buzzsaw Travis Banks, who's looking to get back in the ranks, get back on the winning end, if you will, of the brand after coming off that loss against Noam Dar at the Cardiff Takeover show. He took on Tyson Tebow.
Yeah, not really a particularly interesting match. I mean, it was mostly Travis Banks trying to find a way around Tyson T-Bone's power.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Travis Banks won with a shock roll-up.
Yeah, he was clutching at his ribs, so Tyson T-Bone was basically working over his ribs throughout the match. But as War Machine mentioned, the Kiwi Buzzsaw got the victory. Next, we had Rhea Ripley, the Mosh Pit Kid herself, taking on Debbie Keitel.
Yeah, not much here again. Rhea Ripley dispatched handily of Miss Keitel. However, she made her intentions known that she's going back after the NXT UK Women's Championship when she was greeted by Jenny.
Yeah, Jenny came out and she said she's going to be the next champion. But before that, Rhea, she said no one can break her mentally. No one can step up to her physically, which is pretty obvious. I mean, Piper Niven if you put her in there. But anyway, she disposed of her a couple weeks ago. Out came Jenny with Jazzy Gabor. She said, my goal for the Women's Championship is in the future. You need to worry about Jazzy because you are in the past. So Jazzy stepped up. She got hit with a kick to the side of the head. And basically, yeah, I'm very interested to see how this goes.
Yeah, this is going to be a great feud. Next, we had everybody's favorite dad rolling up to the arena, Trent Seven.
God, he looks like he's just going through a midlife crisis. I mean, like I told War Machine here, he dresses pretty nice. I mean, the guys of British Strong Style, they dress to the T. But Trent Seven, he clearly looks like somebody's middle-aged dad. Like, bruh, is it just me? Again, is it just me?
I mean,
again,
he is the older of the British Strong Style group.
That is true, but he just really looks like somebody's middle-aged dad. But anyway, he
was rolling up to the arena when Supernova 11 Noam Dar was just heckling him with a megaphone in hand.
Yeah, and then as he kept walking off, he just kept antagonizing him, and then he said, "R.I.P. BSS," and that did not sit well with Trent Seven, as he started, grabbing at him, pushing on him, and I guess the backstage goofs had to separate him. So, yeah, next week, it will be Trent Seven and Noam Dar. It was announced later on in the show. Next, we move on to Joseph Connors versus the Luckian Kenny Williams.
Yeah, this whole show just didn't have that many good matches on them.
It really didn't. I mean, Joseph Connors, I guess he's trying to climb up the ranks. Kenny Williams, I can't remember the last time he won anything. He's pretty much just losing and losing and losing and losing.
Yeah, his last match he lost to Jordan Devlin.
Yeah.
But yeah, he loses yet again to Joseph Connors and the Don't Look Down.
Yeah. Still one of the best names of any finisher in the business.
Yep. Next, it was announced that Kaylee Ray would be taking on Tegan Knox in 2 weeks.
Yeah, and as we mentioned, Trent Seven and Noam Dar next week. And then we move on to the main event. It was a British rounds match where Cassius, as they call him, Cassius Ohno, took on the assistant to the general manager,
The Tom Hanks lookalike.
Yeah, Sid Scala.
Squid Scala. Psycho Squid.
This was 6 3-minute rounds. You had to win by pinfall or submission, a 30-second break. I didn't care for this match because I thought it was completely boring.
Yeah,
I mean, not to cut you off, but this was a complete mismatch from the jump.
that was the intent. You know, they were trying to go with, Sid Scala's the smaller guy in the match, but he's got the biggest heart. But
Yeah.
just, okay, it wasn't Impact Championship levels of bad.
Now that I can appreciate. It wasn't Impact level bad because when they did that and they had that Grand Slam or whatever the heck championship, that was bad. We don't need to get into that whole spiel, but I mean,
Anyway,
this was just boring.
yeah, every time they would have Sid rally, they would kill it by the round ending. Cassius Ohno picked up the only decision of the match.
Well, it was 2 because he beat him in the 3rd round. He pinned him in the 3rd round.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Oh, okay.
The only decision.
Oh, okay.
He pinned him in the 3rd round, and after that, it was just an uphill climb for Sid Scala.
Yeah.
Right when he was about to put Ohno away in the 6th round, the clock gave out, and Ohno won 1 decision to none. It was like a soccer game.
Yeah, the Tom Hanks lookalike was not happy. He was highly pissed. But again, this was a mismatch. You know, they played the narrative of small guy, big guy. It was just completely boring, and I don't think the crowd even cared themselves.
Yeah.
So again, like we said, not much of a show this week.
Next, we move on to 205 Live, broadcasting straight from the University of Tennessee, where we kicked off the show with Lindsay.
Wait, no, they were in Atlanta.
They were?
Yeah.
I thought they were in Knoxville because SmackDown was there.
No, SmackDown was in Atlanta. Raw was...
Oh, thank you. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
They were in the South. Let's just put that
Yeah,
way.
they were in the South.
They were in the dirty, dirty South. Anyway, we kicked off with the Golden Links of the Lucha House Party. Lindsay Dorado taking on Aria Daivari.
Now, Aria has been, last few weeks, has been trying to play mind games with Lindsay Dorado, basically trying to get him to turn against his Lucha House Party brothers, but Lindsay, he said no. Earlier, they had a video on WWE.com on their YouTube channel as well, where he basically patched things up with his brothers. This was a good match to kick off the show. And so he's basically said that I'm not going to follow your lead. Grand Metalik and Kalisto, you know, I'm riding with them. But Lindsay Dorado ended up getting the victory over Aria Daivari. Next, we move on to Jack Gallagher taking on the Brian Kendrick. Now, didn't they mention that this has been going on for quite a year, or almost a year?
Yeah, quite some time, because, of course, there was when all 3 men were a part of Drew Gulak's faction, and they turned on Brian Kendrick. Then there was something else.
I think it was where Gallagher turned on Gulak or something like that, and then Kendrick started aligning himself with Tony Nese.
Yeah.
I mean, not Tony Nese, but Akira Tozawa.
Yeah, then it all came to head prior to the Captain's Challenge episode of 205. And since then, it's almost like Gallagher has been ducking Brian Kendrick, or at least Brian Kendrick thinks that.
Yeah.
So everything finally came to a head at this night. Gallagher and Kendrick went at it. I'm trying to remember last night.
Well, when they were, giving their little interviews to the camera, Kendrick said, "Well, you've been ducking me, blah blah blah, and so I'm gonna have to show you what respect looks like because you and everybody else have been disrespecting me." There we go. The word disrespect again. That's basically been used all week.
Yeah.
Not only is Eric Rowan talking about disrespect, but so is Brian Kendrick. There you go.
Yeah.
Anyway, they had their match, and Kendrick pulled out a kendo stick.
Yeah, he got frustrated because Gallagher was basically his equal for this match, and he just could not put him away. He busted out the kendo stick, started wailing away on Gallagher. Then when Tozawa just pleaded with him to stop, Kendrick seemed like he was into that idea, turned and walked away, and then just started laying into Tozawa, and Tozawa wasn't looking.
Yeah, so basically, the Brian Kendrick is a heel again, and he's basically...
he's back at odds with both Gallagher and Tozawa.
Yeah, he's ended his friendship with Akira, so the Brian Kendrick is now riding solo again.
Yep.
Next, we move on to the main event, which would be Oney Lorcan versus the premier athlete Tony Nese. Now, if you recall 2 weeks ago when they were at MSG, Tony Nese basically turned heel, if you will. He said, you don't know what I've been through. You don't know what it's like.
Yeah, he attacked the man with the greatest Twitter follower
Oh my goodness.
of all time. Oney Lorcan, who tried to console him after his loss. And yeah, Tony Nese just laid into him, just started tearing him apart.
Yeah, and Oney Lorcan was out for revenge. He was out for retribution. But this was alright, Tony
Nese.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to call him now, the Tony Nese. Tony Nese ended up getting the victory with some shenanigans from the Cruiserweight champion, Drew Gulak. So, looks like Oney Lorcan won't be getting a shot anytime soon. But we'll talk about him since we're moving on to practically the best show of the week.
Well, this week's NXT was a tale of two shows. Like I mentioned ahead of the show, it was the maiden voyage on USA. At least the first hour was, but both hours were two different shows.
Yeah.
Because of course, first hour was on USA Network, and because it was on network TV, they had a lot more commercial breaks in matches, and it broke the pacing of the matches.
Now, I understand they have to pay the bills, and they have sponsors and this and that, but the commercials really went overboard as far as the USA Network version is concerned. Next week, the 25th, they will do this again, and hopefully this will be the last time they do such things as that.
I doubt it.
Because hour 1 next week will be on USA Network, hour 2 will be on the WWE Network. But like you said, this was a tale of two shows. I felt like if you put both hours together overall, this was a home run.
Yeah, the first hour really dragged it down. That's what I was worried about with NXT going to TV. It's the commercial breaks just ruin the pacing of the show.
Yeah, and I saw where before we recorded, Vince McMahon, he applauded, tonight's show. So,
Yeah, was he even watching the second hour? Because that's how you write TV.
I have no idea, but all I know, he applauded the show.
Anyway,
said it was pretty excellent.
Anyway, we kicked off the USA half of this with fatal four-way no-one contendership match for the NXT Women's Championship. It was the bad baby girl in black, Io Shirai, taking on the EST of NXT, Bianca Belair, taking on the head baddie in charge, Mia Yim, taking on Candice Wrestling, Candice LeRae herself. Take it away, Rodimus.
Can we just say, this was a nice way to kick off the show.
Oh, this was just a slap bang up match right from the jump.
All four girls just went out there and just tore the roof off of Full Sail. I mean, Full Sail was hot already before anything went down. But, I mean, you had Mia, you had Bianca, you had Io, you had Candice. What more do we need to say? My goodness. But
Yeah, they damn near killed each other just for a crack at the Queen of Spades.
yeah, I felt in my mind I was saying, well, you have 3 of the 4 women that have had a shot at Shayna and her championship, and they've all came up on the losing end, except Candice. I felt like it was kind of obvious that Candice would win.
I mean, I would have been for Io Shirai getting that championship shot, but like you said, they've already faced her, except for Candice went down. I felt like this was a nice way to re-legitimize Candice after her involvement with the Johnny Gargano storyline.
Yeah, she's had some stop go pushes, but
Actually, it was a complete stop because they turned her from amazing wrestler to hapless wife.
yeah, but I mean, whatever. Anyway, Candice LeRae got the victory. She will be facing Shayna Baszler, as they mentioned earlier, well, later on in the first hour of NXT, in 2 weeks for the Women's Championship. Afterwards, Shayna and her crew came out, basically surrounded her, and Shayna basically stuck the championship in her face, like, yeah, this is what you're coming for. I'm going to beat that ass in 2 weeks.
Next, they rolled a video package for Donovan Dijakovic. See, it's still a tough name to say.
Yeah.
Taking on Keith Lee, Part 3, next week. And then we move on to quite possibly the second match of the century.
Before we get to that, if their first 2 matches are anything of what we've seen, just imagine what Part 3 is going to be like.
Oh, it's going to be bananas.
Jesus Christ.
Anyway, speaking of bananas, we watched Sean Maluda take on Cameron Grimes. I'm sorry, the Unwanted Savage, Sean Maluda.
There
anyway,
you go.
I say take on. This match was over.
Because it's like I was drawing something, and next thing you know, it was just like, oh, it's over. Like,
Yeah.
what the heck?
Give you a play-by-play. Both men came to the ring. They were both hungry for a piece of the competition pie. As soon as the bell rings, Sean Maluda bum rushed Cameron Grimes. Cameron Grimes was, he was half turned to him. He turned around just in time to execute a jumping double stomp. Took the Unwanted Savage out of the game. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, that was like the quickest bathroom break I've ever had.
Yeah, that one was quicker than the previous match of the century candidate, Dalton Castle and Roosh.
Oh, from April. 10 stars. This one gets 10 stars.
I've watched Dalton Castle and Roosh 3 times.
Oh my God.
That's how good it is.
Me, you, and Malcolm just died watching that match. Jesus. 17 seconds, people.
Yeah.
17 motherfreaking seconds.
Next was a match that should have been better, but again, commercials just bogged it down.
And like I said, the first half of the match was kind of sloppy. But it was for the North American Championship as the Velveteen
North American Dream.
Experience.
Yeah, he defended his North American prize against the Undisputed Era's own Roderick Strong, the only man without gold.
Yes. Roderick he's been chasing that title for the last few weeks. He has made it clear he wants that North American Championship, and tonight was his night because, like I said, the commercials, it lagged it down a little bit. It was a little sloppy it was a little sloppy in the first half of the match. Second half of the match, that's when things got a little better. Of course, Adam Cole, Bebe, and the rest of the crew came down to the ring. They got involved. They had a referee bump.
The referee wasn't down that long.
He was down for what, 5 minutes? Probably a little less than 5 minutes.
2 or 3 minutes, enough for the Undisputed Era to get involved.
Yeah. At first when they got involved, Roderick hit one of his signature moves. Velveteen kicked out.
Yeah, he kicked out of End of Heartache. I believe Adam Cole hit a super kick, and then Strong followed up with another End of Heartache to get the North American Championship. And now NXT is completely undisputed.
Yes. Destiny.
Shock the system.
Destiny is fulfilled. The Undisputed Era has been officially draped in gold.
And they got that gold drip.
Yeah. Anyway, we move on to Hour 2 on the WWE Network as the Undisputed Era was still celebrating Roger Strong's victory, as they were still just basically being baptized in gold, if you will.
Yeah. Like I said, Tale of Two Shows. Hour 2 was the show they should have put on TV, because this was balls to the wall exciting.
Oh, especially towards the end. As we mentioned, Candice LeRae, Shayna Baszler for the Women's Championship in 2 weeks on October 2nd. The debut of another rival, soon to be another rival, AEW.
Yeah.
So that's going to be some competition in that.
Anyway, speaking of competition, we kicked off the second half with Peter Dune, the Bruiserweight, taking on Arturo Ruiz?
Yeah, Ruiz.
Okay. This was a dogfight.
You know, we thought going into this match, okay, Pete Dunne's just going to beat him just like that. Nope. This turned out to be pretty decent.
Yeah, Ruiz gave the Bruiserweight his money's worth.
Yeah, he didn't necessarily take him to the limit, but you know he showed him what he had, and the Bruiserweight got the victory as he snapped the fingers.
Well, this time he had, I believe he had an armbar locked in.
Yeah, well, he had an armbar locked in, and then he.
Yeah. So it wasn't just him breaking the fingers.
Yeah, and then he tried to bend his hand back, and he just
Yeah.
tapped out. But like I said, that still annoys me though.
Yeah.
But anyway, Pete Dunne got the victory, and he just looked at him like, oh well.
Nothing personal, just business.
Yeah, it's just business, bro.
Yeah. Next, we had another return package for Dakota Kai.
Yeah.
Honestly, I forgot she was on the shelf.
I did too. I mean, it's good that she's back. She's gonna look to
To bounce back.
get back
rolling.
on the winning track, if you will. So Dakota Kai makes her return to NXT next week. Then we move on to Xia Li taking on Aaliyah. But she was accompanied to the ring by my baby girl, Vanessa Bourne.
Ay, Dios mío.
Jesus Christ, I love her. It's a good thing I follow her on social media. Jesus Christ. Before we talk about this, I don't give a shit about Aaliyah. No disrespect. I could watch Vanessa Bourne all day. And Xia Li. Continue.
Yeah, this is pretty much a one-sided affair for Xia Li, as she just dominated 95% of this match.
Yeah.
There was a little bit of a botchy spot.
Yeah.
Where Xia Li looked like she she slipped off the top rope, came off a bit awkward.
I think I missed that part because I was too busy doodling.
Yeah, she snapped up and she just kind of pushed Aaliyah.
Yeah.
It looked like she lost her footing literally and figuratively. But yeah, she put away Aaliyah, and then we move on to I already forgot the dude's name.
Denzel D.
Yeah, he had some funky last name.
Yeah, because not to cut you off, but they showed his name real quick and I couldn't jot his last name down, so I just put Denzel D. They mentioned that Kushida was going to be in action after this. He was supposed to take him on, but who said...
It wasn't the Ring General, but it was Alexander Wolf, Fabian Eigner, and Marcel Barthel, 3/4 of Imperium, as they beat this man down and then just scrubbed him from the ring as the Ring General made his appearance.
Yeah, he basically said, anybody who disrespects this ring that is very sacred to us, your time will be spent answering to me and Imperium. Out comes Kushida,
who basically says, your time is up, you're on my time.
And he basically got in the ring. Well, he was outside the ring, and the rest of Imperium tried to attack him, but he outsmarted him, if you will. Then he got in the ring with Walter, and Walter tried to take him out.
Walter had him by the collar. I thought for a second he had him by the ears. But no, he had him by the collar of his jackets. And before he could throw Kushida just slipped out of his jackets.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah.
And I was just like, Walter versus Kushida? I'm down with it.
I was just stoked by the fact that Imperium invaded NXT.
That's incredible. That was incredible.
That was awesome. I loved it.
Yeah.
Next, we move on.
What's that saying you always say?
Yeah. Give me a shovel because I can dig it.
I need one too.
Anyway.
Shut up and take my money.
Speaking of digging, dig this guy's Twitter follows as Oni Lorcan took on the returning Lio Rush.
Yeah, Lio Rush. It's been some reports about him as far as his antics in WWE. Not good, but he's taking some time off, put out some rap music. Hopefully better than that other guy who we won't mention.
Real One, how you doing?
Anyway,
yeah, he got a really good reception from the Full Sail crowd.
and I hope they keep him back in NXT because his time on the main roster now I sort of enjoyed his stuff with Lashley, but after his shenanigans, it's best he stays in NXT.
Damn it, I'm trying to remember my rhetoric as Lio Rush. My man, Bobby Lashley.
Yeah. Anyway, like you said, Leo got a real nice welcome back. They kept chanting welcome back.
Yeah, both these guys were just beating the absolute dog crap out of each other for a crack at Drew Gulak's Cruiserweight title. We had 205 Live business on NXT.
Yeah, Triple H has mentioned some stuff about 205, the Cruiserweight Championship being defended on NXT, in which I wouldn't mind. I don't know how you feel about that.
Yeah, put it on TakeOver.
Yeah. I mean, it would serve a lot better on the TakeOver shows or TV instead of just the pre-show on the main roster like it always is. But this match was surprisingly good.
Yeah, out of all of Lio Rush's WWE matches, this was by far the best one I've seen out of him.
Now, Leo looked to hurt himself. He had looked to have hurt himself when he was trying to go for a splash and he landed on his knee.
Yeah.
I think it was his right knee.
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah, but shockingly, through it all, Lio Rush is now your #1 contender, and I was just stunned.
The man of the hour.
Yeah.
What is he, 24, 25 years old?
Something like that.
The 25-year-old piece of gold.
I was, like I told War Machine here, I felt like it was obvious that Oni Lorcan was going to win, but Lio Rush is #1 contender. I'm not mad at that. Congratulations to him.
Give me another shovel because I can dig it, man.
Yeah. And then we move on to the main event. Matt Riddle, the King, took on Killian Dane. And as soon as the bell rung, Killian Dane just drop kicked him in the corner right out the gate.
Yeah, just Rush style bum rushed him.
The only difference is he didn't beat him in 17 seconds.
Actually, this match had no finish whatsoever.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
These guys beat, well, I've already said dog crap, so we're going to go a little bit more fierce. They beat the dog shit out of each other because they were fighting all around Full Sail. They even went to the back areas where there were several, I guess you could call them stars if you want to refer to the Forgotten Sons as such.
Who?
Anyway, they were beating each other around the behind the scenes on Full Sail.
Yeah.
As everything was kind of contained until they got to
Imperium.
Yeah, Imperium, who were just outside chilling.
Yeah.
Walter grabbed Matt Riddle. Imperium beat him down. Killian Dane beat him down.
Then next thing you know, the Street Profits came out of nowhere. The Forgotten Sons.
Who? Raul Mendoza.
Dijakovic.
They just poured out the locker room of
I like how that was well done.
Yeah, they just poured out the mid to lower cards.
Yeah, it was just like, I don't know, it kind of reminded me of like some WCW type stuff where
the NWO first ran Rug Shot.
Yeah, and they were beating down WCW.
And Kevin Nash lawn darted Mysterio.
Yeah, or like when WCW and NWO were beating each other and Sting came down from the rafters and the crowd just lost their ish.
Yeah. Speaking of which, those two guys made their way, and the destruction that followed, made their way back to the ring.
Yeah.
As they continued to just beat each other up. They were both held back by security, which the crowd didn't like, and me neither.
Me neither.
They beat up security. Matt Riddle went outside, or got thrown outside, and Killian Dane with a Tope Suicida took out everybody.
Yeah, and even when they got back in the building, you know, all the other people followed behind them, you know, doing their thing. Every person in that building was on their feet. This was a really nice way to kick off NXT on USA Network.
I wouldn't say that. They were on the network, remember?
Yeah, but I'm just saying overall.
Like I said, the second hour is what should have made it to TV.
Yeah, because that suicide dive was just awesome. And NXT ended about 10 minutes early.
Felt like, yeah. This match went no contest.
Yeah, it was a no contest. Everybody else was just doing their thing, and yeah, that was it. The second hour was a little better than the first hour. Now,
A little bit.
if we had to rate it out of 5, first hour 3.5, second hour easily a 5.
5 stars, yeah.
Overall, the show gets a 4.5.
Yeah.
So
It's our show of the week. Match of the week. Oh, this is a tough one. NXT put on so many good matches this week.
match of the week, I'm going to say the North American Championship for the simple fact that the Undisputed Era is now draped in gold.
See, I would have picked that, but again, the commercials just kind of bogged it down.
Yeah, how many commercials did they have? What, like 5?
They had like 3.
Jesus Christ.
I'd say match of the week would be
It's certainly nothing from UK.
God no.
And then 205 had some decent matches, but they didn't compare nothing to what NXT was doing.
I'm stuck between the street fight and then Dunn versus Ruiz. I'm gonna go street fight for the sheer fact that it was just pure chaos.
Yep.
It was just pure insanity, pure madness. Sparta! Yeah, just that level of craziness.
I mean, this whole show, overall, like I said, with both hours combined, it definitely hit a home run.
Yeah, it secured the fact that I'm going to be watching it on the network.
Yep.
Because, again, that's what I feared about NXT going to cable, is all those commercials just ruining the episode.
And I don't know, it's going to be interesting to see how the 2 hours do.
Yeah.
Especially next week also. With the first hour on USA, second hour on WWE Network.
Yeah.
But, you know, we should be in for a treat because, like we mentioned off air, the month of October is going to be bananas. You got NXT on Wednesdays on USA, AEW on TNT, SmackDown on Fox on Fridays, of course Raw on Mondays, Impact on Thursdays on Access TV. So it's going to be a lot going on, including Bound for Glory for Impact on the 20th. So yeah, it's a lot going down in the month of October. Anything else I'm missing?
Yeah, I just realized the only day that there's not going to be any cable wrestling is Tuesday nights. Oh, no.
Tuesday and Saturday. Tuesday, Saturday, well, Sundays.
Well,
Sundays don't count because they're like pay-per-views.
I really don't count Saturday because nobody runs a Saturday pay-per-view or run a Saturday show on the regular.
Yeah, yeah. Not that we know of, but for the most part, nobody does a show on Saturdays.
Yeah, Tuesday's a free day.
Yeah.
Wouldn't necessarily say it's devoid of wrestling because there's still 205, but
Yeah.
still.
It's like I said, it's a lot going down.
Yeah, especially that first week when everything just kind of shifts into place.
Yeah. Oh, and New Japan has King of Pro Wrestling that month also.
Yeah, where I believe that's where Mox and Suzuki's going to take place.
You told me about that, but I hadn't seen nothing official yet.
I thought it was official.
Yeah.
Oh well. Anyway,
I know Mox said he wants to be at Wrestle Kingdom next year. So he's made that clear he's going to be at Wrestle Kingdom next year.
that's if his AEW contract allows it.
I'm pretty sure they will. I'm pretty sure TK can, give him a pass. Because, I mean, from what I've heard, the door is always open for him to come back once his contract expires with New Japan.
Yeah.
So, like I said, I'm pretty sure TK and the rest of the crew will, give him a pass to go back to Japan for Wrestle Kingdom.
Yeah, we'll see in due time. But yeah, that wraps up the network episode of everything. Anything you want to say?
No. Pretty good show. Like I said, NXT UK was very lackluster this week.
Yeah.
So other than that, nothing.
All right.
Go ahead and do the usual plug.
Hate his ugly ass face. Loves his opinions. He has a podcast. It's on Castbox.
Yeah.
Almost said SoundCloud.
People actually do podcasts on SoundCloud.
I know, but it's not on SoundCloud.
No, it's not.
Yeah. Prime Talk with Rodimus Prime, where he talks about football, soccer, hockey, NASCAR,
Hell no.
Indy 500,
No.
Le Mans. Oh,
Who?
wait. Le Mans.
What is that?
You've never heard of the Le Mans?
No.
It's like it's a marathon race.
Like running?
God, no.
Oh.
Cars.
Oh, no. I don't talk about that.
Like it's like NASCAR, only better. Where they drive through scenic locations that look very, very nice.
That sounds like something Malcolm would watch.
Exactly. I bet you if Malcolm had a podcast, he'd be talking about Le Mans and NASCAR.
Or what's that other one? IndyCar.
I don't know. I just know those two.
Yeah. Anyway,
yeah, he talks about football, basketball, baseball, soccer, wrestling.
yeah. Anything that comes to mind. All 8 episodes up right now.
Yeah.
So I will be back real soon with episode 9. Stay tuned.
As you can tell by our location, we're still on vacation.
Yeah.
Anyway, that being said, he's Rodimus Prime.
And this is the greatest second place champion of all time, the War Machine MJ.
The United States of War Machine MJ. We are the 3 Count Mafia, and we'll see you guys next time. Stay undisputed.
Yeah.